Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to our BKFC Reddit Ask Me Anything. We're joined by the UK Cruiserweight champion, Karl the Wasp Thompson. How you doing, sir?
I'm very good, thank you. Yourself?
I'm good. It's about damn time this happened. We've been trying to get this in the works for I feel like a couple months, and it's finally happened, and I'm happy about it.
Yeah. I'm pleased it's happened. I've been obviously I think we've just kind of caught each other at different times, but yeah, I'm pleased to be on and finally come on to your show and talk about my future in the BKFC.
The one thing that I wish is we would see more UK guys come over to the States and kind of showcase you more. We do see people watch the UK cards, but it doesn't seem to get quite the viewership as the American cards. And, somebody like Lily who's come over and Tierney, like those guys really, have really transcended the sport. And I can't wait for you to be able to come to the States and show the people of the United States what you can do.
Yeah, that's something I'm like really looking forward to doing in the future. That's what I wanted to do. I want to come over to the States. Obviously, I've been there for the Champion Summit, like, so the atmosphere, what the BKFC creates in America, and I definitely want to be a part of that.
Talk about the champion summit. I was one of those guys that I was like, this is either going to go really bad or really good, and I felt it went phenomenal. Can you tell us about being at the summit?
Yeah, it was just like a surreal moment. I think, being with everybody, obviously all the champions together. Obviously with Conor McGregor hosting as well, you know what I mean? This is something like from where I'm from don't really get, doesn't really happen, you know what I mean? So I was just quite a surreal moment. I was just really happy to be there. And obviously thankful for being actually, invited to come. Uh, I really enjoyed it. I'd never been to America before. I'd never been to Miami, so it was all new for me. But it was something I really enjoyed, and I'm hoping to be coming back in the future.
It looked like you fellows from the UK were having like the craziest time in Miami, doing on little adventures. And like, what was it like coming to the States since you'd never been here? Was it everything you thought? Was it significantly different?
Yeah, it was everything I thought. It was a lot busier than I'd imagined it was going to be. But yeah, it was nice. It was just a surreal moment. Obviously, we went down to Miami Beach down the front of that, and been to look at some of the views down there. Went to a couple of nice restaurants. So yeah, it was a surreal moment, like I said, and yeah, I really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed it.
Hanging out with all the champions, did you have any like preconceived notions? Like sometimes you see a guy online and they seem kind of like they're not who they are. Like when you got to hang around with them in the back, where you're like, oh, this guy's actually pretty cool.
Yeah, if it was well, yeah, all of them really. I didn't really not get on with anybody who was there. Like I said, they've all earned a place on that stage, so I believe that. Yeah, it was quite quite surreal. I almost had to pinch myself sometimes, being surrounded by some of these guys. Obviously, who I'm fans of myself. I like them as fighters, and obviously meeting them in person was quite a bit of a dream come true, really. So yeah, I was really happy. But no, nobody really got under my skin. Nobody thought I didn't think it would be any different to what they were. But yeah, it was a really good night and a really good show, and I really enjoyed it.
You're a very blue collar guy. You've worked your way up through the rankings, like lunch pail kind of guy. I love that about you. There's so many people who kind of get fast tracked. We did see we did see Alessio Sakara come in last night. He
Yeah,
fought. Now they're really pushing for that. How does that
yeah.
make you feel as someone who's worked your way up the rankings, that they're really trying to push for him to get a title shot?
Yeah, I kind of feel like I've just been getting kind of left in the background. I've been pushing for this fight. I think it's more than what I've earned. Like I said, every person I've fought in England's been unbeaten before I fought them. These are really good, tough lads. Who I fought, who were beaten. Obviously, never got handed the title. I had to work my way up for it. Going after my fourth fight before straight win. So yeah, it's disappointing. I think almost, but obviously it's an Italian card coming up. I think he's obviously headlining. Chris Camozzi's headlining again. I don't blame Chris Camozzi at all. All he's doing is fighting who's getting put in front of him. You know what I
Sure.
mean? I don't think anything against him. I'm sure he wants to fight with me, I'm sure he does. I think that's what we both want. We both know it'd be a good fight and what the fans want. But he's just kind of come out the background, Sakara, hasn't he? I mean, none of these fighters are top five ranked.
Sure.
So you know what I mean? It's not just me. I'm in the top five rankings. I think I'm in number three, but there's another four fighters there as well who are in the top five rankings. They must be thinking the same thing as me. You know, what do we kind of have to do to get the fight what we want? You know, we try to push it as much as we can. Uh, but yeah, I'm disappointed, but I'm not. You know what I mean? I'm sure my chance will come, and I'll always be ready. I'm ready for fight. Obviously. Another thing is, like, Sakara never made the weight. And when I looked on the stats after his fight, he was 212 pounds. Our limit's 205. You know what I mean? So he's not even close. I don't know whether that was agreed before he fought. You know, must have been agreed or something. But you know, he hasn't even fought that. He hasn't even fought a cruiserweight yet. So you know what I mean?
I completely agree with everything you said. The one thing that's frustrating to me is, according to Chris, and I believe him, he said he's asked for you twice on two specific occasions, and BKFC has said no. Have you reached
Yeah.
out to BKFC, to Andy, to Dave, and said, hey, like, why the hell not?
Yeah, I've asked and like I've been pushing it, but obviously the Italian card, I think it just suited them Andre to get Beachy because he's an Italian. I
Sure,
kind of see from a business point of view that an Englishman and an American fighting an Italian card is not going to be the biggest seller. I know that.
sure,
Like, I'm not stupid, you know. I do see that, but also again, you know, I just think, yeah, but you shouldn't be fighting for a world title because that's where you're from, because it's going to
sure.
sell. You know what I mean? You've got to earn your way up, and I thought that was how this works. You know, you'd earn your way to the top by having hard fights. You know, not. I'm not no offense against Sakari. You know what I mean? No, he hasn't done anything wrong. I just think it's a lot to do with after one fight,
Sure.
just to be pushed straight in there. I mean, like, yes, and if he wins that, I'm hoping. If that fight does get made happen, I'm hoping obviously fight the winner for that. Uh, I'm hoping to fight for a European title on the Italian card myself, so I'll be there, I'll be watching. But yeah, I'm hoping to get the winner. If not, if I don't get that, I want at least somebody in the top five, maybe in America for some kind of, I don't know, fight off like a world title eliminator, something like that after this. So that's what I'm hoping for.
Every time that I talk to somebody at BKFC, they say if it doesn't make dollars, it doesn't make sense. So, like you said, if
Yeah.
they're not going to be able to sell the fight, they really don't like to push that. Is there somebody, you just talked about a European title? Who's on the radar for a European title at 205 with you?
Uh, I'm not sure. There's a few Italians, but they've only had a couple of fights. They've only had
Sure.
one or two fights, so I'm not sure whether it'll get granted. But I kind of think, well, it is going to get granted now because if Sakari can have a world title fight after one fight, but surely somebody else can have a world European title fight after a couple of fights. You know what I mean? That's the way I've looked at it. So, but yeah, there's a couple of fighters there who boxed on the last Italian card. There's a couple of cruiserweights on that one, so I've been rumoured to be one of them. But whether it does or not, I've obviously asked for a European title. That's at least what I want. You know what I mean? For the stage I'm at now in the BKFC, I want to be fighting for titles, or at least eliminators. You know what I mean? Like a world title eliminator or a European title. So that's what I'm hoping for. But fingers crossed, it's gonna happen.
Steve Tomahawk Townsville, somebody else in the top five.
Yeah.
Everybody always wants to call out the champion. He actually called you out. Yes, you are the champion, but he said, look, Karl's the fight to make, me versus Karl. Is that a
Yeah.
fight that interests you?
Oh, massive. Yeah, really, really interests me. I watched him obviously in Hollywood. I was quite
Sure.
impressed with his performance. I was talking to him after. Seems like a nice guy. Yeah, so I don't see why not. I don't think, like I say, he's at number 4 and I'm at number 3, so it makes massive sense. Whether it's going to be a world title eliminator or something like that, I'm sure thinks he deserves a shot as well. You know, he'll be in the same boat as me, thinking he deserves a shot. So maybe if we do a world title eliminator in America or even in the UK, I think that's something what people would like to see.
It's one of those things, like, you want to come to America, he wants to go to the UK. Maybe they do put you guys in Italy, or like, I would love to see you guys featured in more of these exotic locations, just kind of spread the wealth with some of these fights.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. Yeah, that would be a good shout as well if we got him like on the Italy card. If I fought Stephen, maybe for a world title eliminator, I don't see why not. We're both ranked in the top 5.
Sure.
I think it'll be a cracking fight. Both got similar styles. Obviously, he's a southpaw. He comes in quite strong guy. So yeah, I think it'll be a cracking fight. I don't see why not. I think that's what people want to see as well.
How did you come up with the name the Wasp?
Ah, it was a long time ago when I was in my boxing days when I was a young kid in my gym. Well, because I used to be quite light on my feet and my punches were like sharp and like they were like stings. So everyone said I was floating like a wasp around. So that's how it come about. My friends still calls it now. You know what I mean? But that's what it calls my first name, the Wasp. So yeah, it's just always stuck and it's different. I thought nobody else has it. So yeah, it's something what means quite a lot to us since I've had it for such a long time.
One of the things that I struggle with as an American is I talk to all you guys from the UK and you all have a
Yeah.
little bit different accents and different, like some of you love to throw around, hey cunt, how you doing? But like Jono Chip Chase, I was like, hey cunt, how's it going? He's like, yeah, don't you dare call me that. Like what how it's crazy the accents and the phrases that you guys like. You love to say pal. Is that like a northern thing? Like where does pal come
Yeah.
from?
Well, I'm from the northeast, just outside of Newcastle near Durham. So yeah, pal's just like a friend. So it's like just saying like, how you doing, mate? It's just how you doing, pal. You know. So yeah, it's a northern thing. Uh, but a lot of people down south don't like it because pal's a form of dog food. So if you say a
Okay.
pal down south, they just look at you as if you're stupid. But yeah, it's a northern thing. So yeah.
Okay, so we've heard Connor Tierney told us that if you call someone a sausage, you're calling him a dick. Is there any phrases from the north that we as an American fan might hear you guys say, and we're like, what the hell does that mean? Do you have any BKFC related phrases we might hear?
Uh, where do I start? Uh, off the top of my head.
I'll let you think on that one. I'm going to ask you
Yeah,
this
let me
one.
think on that one. That's a bit. Yeah, it's a bit. I don't really. I can't really. I don't really know really something what the Americans wouldn't know what we do.
One of my
Yeah, I've
favorite things.
come back
Oh,
on that
sorry.
one.
Okay,
Uh,
one of my favorite things about like watching stuff in the UK is the chants. Like, do you have a Karl chant? Like Tierney told me that his fans have a chant for him. Do your fans have a Wasp chant for you that you guys sing when you're fighting?
uh, no, I wouldn't say a chant. It's always just like my friends always sing. There's only one Carl Thompson, you know, and or there's only one Wasp. So that's about it. But yeah, I've got quite a big following of fans. People, I've got quite a close circle of friendships. So yeah, all my fans from where I'm from, they all come everywhere I go. So yeah.
Are you somebody, if you do have to fight in the UK again, do you want it to be up there in that North Shields like it has been, or do you kind of want to spread the wealth and maybe head down south, or is there any place in particular you want to fight in the UK?
Uh, I mean, I would say I'd rather be up Newcastle because that's where my fan base is, and obviously I know I can sell it out quite good. I did for the British title, but I've it's funny because I've kind of fought all over England all my life when I was a boxer. You know, I boxed all over the world, boxed all over the UK. So there's not really, I wouldn't say there's somewhere where I'd particularly want to fight. Obviously, London's a good one to fight in, but any kind of big city, uh, I would have said before. But obviously, I boxed all over, so I'd just say probably Newcastle from where I'm from because I think that's got the best type of people are from the north. I think overall in England. So yeah, I'd rather just treat the fans up eating something special.
We've heard about the $25 million tournament. Is that something that interests you?
Yeah, this sort of what interests me. I'd probably move up a weight, you know, try and put a bit of weight on if that's what it's going to be between. I think it was 185 and 260. I think that was the pounds what the limits were.
I believe
So I
so.
think it. I know it's good being like sometimes light there for the big lads to be faster in and out with your feet work, with your footwork, sharp shots, but I still believe in this game the weight categories are there for a reason. I think you're gonna no gloves on. You know what I mean? If you're 185 and you get hit off a heavyweight, you're gonna get, you know what I mean. You're gonna feel it a lot. So I do believe that it'd probably be wise for me if I do enter that tournament to move up a weight, maybe probably for a bit of strength, try and keep my speed. Just obviously add a little bit of more strength. I think if I was going to do that competition. So that's just something I'd be looking at to do. But in a minute, I'm just concentrating on. well, hopefully to get the fight on the Italy card and obviously getting that done. And yeah, I just always take one fight at a time. I don't try to rush myself. I treat everybody with respect who I'm going to fight. I train exactly the same for everybody who I fight. So yeah, that's about it.
Are you a guy who's in shape now? You're ready to go, or are you somebody who likes to have it, like the 2 month window to kind of really get in shape?
Uh, no, I'm not for fitness. I dropped down. I dropped down a lot of. Well, I don't drop down a lot of weight, but I like to come down my weight gradually. I don't rush in
Sure.
dropping weight. I've never failed a weight. I kind of take it. If I've got a 2 month fight camp or 2 months to drop my weight, I just drop it gradually, steady. You know what I mean? That's why I time it so right. I mean, I've done it all my life. I've done it since I was 11-year-old,
Sure.
dying. So I know exactly how to do it. But as far as fitness goes, no, I'm always in the gym. I'm always in the gym. I'm always training. I'm always ready. Uh, I mean, after my last fight with Bowman, did carry a couple. The only reason I was out for is I carried a couple of injuries on my hands. But apart from that, I'm always pretty perfect in shape. And I'm quite lucky for my age, I suppose. It's like 36 now, coming on 37. I'm quite injury free. I don't get a lot of injuries, and I'm quite a good healer. I repair quick. So yeah, I'm quite good in that way, mate. I'm kind of always ready.
Can you tell us about your gym and some of your teammates? Where do you train at?
Yes, I train at South Durham Boxing Club. It's a boxing gym. Well, it's actually an amateur boxing gym. I've been there since I was about 12-year-old. So I've always been I've got very close to my trainer. He's like a dad, like a father figure for me. He's had it since I was a kid. So I've always kind of kept close to their circle. So yeah, that's my gym. But I do travel around. I get around for different types of sparring and. I'm not scared of going to other gyms. I like to get out there and do different spars with different people. I always like look at who I'm fighting, and if I'm fighting somebody who's tall, I'll always be sparring with people who are taller than us. I always get people who are similar styles to people who I'm fighting, so I get used to it. Uh, but yeah, I get plenty of sparring. There's loads of people who are my weight. Some really good professional boxers. So yeah, I always get quite lucky in that respect, and I'm always you know getting ready for it in a good way.
What brought you over from wearing gloves to wanting to go bare knuckle?
Well, I think it's just a natural progression. I found it. I think bare knuckle boxing. Obviously, if you're a good boxer, you've got that's half a battle. You know what I mean? At the end of the
Sure.
day, I know it's no gloves, but it is boxing. It's just no gloves.
Sure.
If you're a good boxer, I do believe you're halfway there. Uh, Obviously, it's a lot different. I, the only awkward thing about it, I say, it's quite hard to repair to prepare to fight with someone with no gloves. And obviously, you don't spar with people with no gloves on. I do hit bag work. I do bag work with bandages on, just strengthening my hands up. But I must admit, when I first started it, I was quite a bit nervous how to prepare for it. Like if I wasn't prepared enough.
Sure.
But yeah, I thought it was great. I felt like I took to it quite well because I've always been quite tough. So I've always been able to take a lot of punishment, and obviously I give it out. So I knew that I'd be all right. And I've got a really, really big heart. I've been you see before. I've obviously been on the floor before, and I've just jumped straight back up, and I've always won the fight in the end. So yeah, it's something what doesn't bother me, the pain factor or anything like that. I just basically like to get in there and have a good scrap.
The other day we had somebody from Scotland who messaged the Reddit and he said, I really want to get into bare knuckle fighting. I have no combat experience. What should I do? Do you have advice? Like if someone came to you and said, I really want to become a fighter, a bare knuckle fighter, what advice would you have for that person?
Well, personally, yeah, I do believe it. And I don't think we're special in any kind of way. I think anybody could learn how to do it. But it's a lot about your mind, how your mind's prepared. It's not just physically fit, physically tough. It's also mentally tough. You're fighting in front of a crowd, a big crowd, a lot of shouting, screaming, and obviously you're fighting with no gloves on. Any one slight mistake and you could be flying in the fight, winning every round dead easy, and just get caught at the last minute, and all of a sudden
Sure.
the fight's turned upside down. But as advice to anybody who's getting into it, I would first of all, I would join a boxing gym or join any MMA gym or anything like that, and I'd spar first.
Sure.
see how you like getting hit first with gloves on. Then I'd make a like adjustment from there because a lot of people. I've seen a lot of people in my past who look really good on the bag or really good on the pad work, but as soon as they get to spar, they crumble because, bags and pads don't hit you back to them. So, yeah, it's as simple as that.
It is kind of funny how some guys look so good in the gym, and you put them in a ring with against somebody not from their gym, and suddenly they fall, crumble.
Yeah, they do. I mean, I suppose like another thing is just how you mentally prepare yourself. I almost think I'm quite lucky because I had nearly I had 70 odd amateur fights. So I've been boxing since I was 11-year-old. But if I look back, that's when I had my first fight when I was 11. But if I look back now and I think to myself, if I had to have my first fight now at this age, I'd be thinking, what am I letting myself in for? So luckily, I kind of did it at the age where you're just not bothered. It's just so I'm obviously happy I did it, but I really couldn't think nothing worse if I'd never done it when I was 11 and doing it now.
So you are a worker. Fighting doesn't pay the bills. What do you do for a
No,
job?
I'm a shutter and joiner, so I do all kind of groundworks on the side. I'm like a foreman, like a ganger. So I've got like my own little gang who I'm boss of. But yeah, I just work on the building site, mate, doing all kinds of things, shuttering, concreting, steel fixing, driving all the machines and everything. So that's what I do on a day-to-day basis. I enjoy it, I must admit. It's a physical job, so I almost feel like I'm getting a workout while I'm at work as well as training. But I enjoy my life, I enjoy going to work, I enjoy training. I don't think it's hard to juggle between. I normally train twice a day, so I'll get up at about 4:30 in the morning. I'll go to the gym, I'll do my weights, then I'll go to the boxing gym on the night after work. So yeah, it just keeps us busy, that's the way I like to be, I like to be busy, I don't like to be sat about. So yeah, it's basically what I do.
Are you much of a football fan? Do you enjoy watching footy?
Yeah, I do enjoy watching football. I used to play a lot when I was a kid. I was pretty good actually when I was a kid. I was in the Middlesbrough Football Academy, believe it or not, when I was about 11, 12 year old. And I had a choice to choose football or boxing, and I chose boxing. So, yeah, I'm a football fan. I'm a Man United fan, even though I'm not from actually Manchester or that area, but all my family's Manchester fans. I've been brought up with it.
All right, so we asked James Lilly this question, but who on Manchester United do you think could become a bare knuckle fighter? Is there anybody on the team?
Uh, well, let me think.
Any tough guys?
On this team now or team in the past?
I mean, you got to be Roy Keane, right? If it's from the past, right?
Yeah,
Or
that's the first thing I'd say as well. Roy Keane, definitely. Someone like Roy Keane, the Magic Vidic, somebody like that, they would definitely be up there. I think Roy Keane's obviously he'd done a lot of boxing when he was a kid, so I think he'd be the go-to guy if anybody was going to do it.
being from the States, we had Manchester United was like the only team they ever played when I was growing up. So like I love Manchester United because that's who I watched on ESPN all the time. So absolutely
Yeah,
Giggs and Roy Keane and all those guys back in the day, love it all.
yeah, it's great. Obviously I try to get to some of the matches, and I watch most of the matches at home. But yeah, that's my go-to team. But I don't mind. I like the support for North East as well. I know obviously we've got Sunderland, Newcastle, and Middlesbrough as our main teams up here. But I like the support. I know I'm not a die-hard fan for any of the clubs, but I like to see them doing well just before for the region to do well. You know what I mean, for us, because I always think where we from the North East is kind of always left in the dark, to fend for ourselves. We're like quite far up from the big cities, kind of out the way. So yeah, I just like to see the region do well.
Okay, were you able to think of a phrase, a slang that might help us?
Uh, in what way? I don't like. Is it like swearing, or is it just is it like friendship or something like that?
Anything. So just some key phrases from the north that like us Americans wouldn't know.
Uh, Wait, the Newcastle. I mean, look, it's not really my accent, but you've got Newcastle who's YI man,
Why I
which
man?
is YI man. That's Newcastle, which means it's like a Geordie term for saying like. So if you say it all right to somebody, say, "Are you okay?" You say YI man. So yeah. That phrase. We don't use it down here, but you hear it a lot up there. I'm sure you'll hear Mick Terrell say it if you ever get him on. If you speak to him, he'll say it a lot.
He's been on before. Do you do much training with Mick?
I have done in the past. I've done some pad work with Andy Davison, the coach. But yeah, he's just opened a new gym up in Newcastle. I've had a look at it obviously on the internet, and yeah, I'm going to get in touch. I'm going to get myself up there. I like Mick, you know what I mean. I've got a lot of time for him. He's a great bloke, and I like all his team up there as well. They're great. So yeah, I'm definitely going to get up there and get some, see if I get some sparring. I'll just see some more pad work and a bit of training up there.
So Ginge and Mick are famous for pulling pranks on people. Are you much of a prank guy yourself?
Uh, Yeah, I'd say amongst my friends I probably am, but I wouldn't say I'm out there doing it like every day to people I don't know or anything, you know what I mean? But yeah, I'd say towards my friends I am, yeah. I can have a
I,
laugh like.
the last time Mick was on, he was talking about how Andy had kegged one of the BKFC brass like from America, and I was like, holy shit! He's like, yeah, we don't care. We'll prank anybody.
Yeah, I believe they will as well, you know what I mean? They're two funny guys, like I think they just bounce off each other, so yeah. They're good to be around. I know you're always up for a laugh like them do.
Okay, and my final question I always ask people the first time they're on: do you remember the first time you were in a street fight? The first time you punched somebody to anger? Not a relative, the first time as a youth growing up that you got in a fight down the schoolyard, maybe, or
Well, yeah, I used to play. Like I said, football is something I played when I was a kid, and I got tucked to the boxing gym because I was angry, very angry playing football. I got in more fights and I got in a lot of fights, most games. So my mum thought it was time to drag us along to the boxing gym to get some of that anger out. So yeah, I remember it quite clearly. I remember getting tackled and not being able to take getting tackled off somebody thinking he was stronger than me. So yeah, the quick reaction was to have a fight.
okay, so it sounds like either Camozzi or a top five, and I love that you're open about it. There's so many people that are like, if I don't get my way and get this, then I'm just gonna sit out.
Yeah,
It's one of those things. If you're not fighting, you're not getting seen. So like, yeah, you do want to
yeah,
fight Camozzi, but if it's not gonna happen, at least get you somebody in the top five, or get you a European, and preferably
yeah,
a title eliminator fight.
yeah, definitely. I mean, I just think that. I've worked hard to where I'm getting now, you know what I mean? I feel like I've done the hard work to get where I'm at. I don't dodge, I'm never ever going to be one of them who dodges fights, you know what I mean? I'll fight anybody as long as I get fights. But I just almost think that it's not just me, but the other people in the division deserve a fight, you know what I mean? Like Tomahawk wants to fight me. Why shouldn't he have a fight with me, with third and fourth? It makes sense. If he wants to fight me, why not? Well, that's what we'll do. I just feel like I should be fighting people with some like relevance, who've done the same as I am, who've put the work in, who want that shot, to impress the BKFC for hoping that they get a world title themselves. That's what I believe in, and yeah, I'll just keep working away, and hopefully my time will come with that world title shot. I don't see why I can't fight the winner out of Camozzi and Sorenzo if that happens. I honestly can't. As much as I really want to fight Camozzi, I almost think it's not going to happen on this Italian card.
Sure.
I've come to like quite accept that there's been nothing in the pipeline about fighting Camozzi, which is massively disappointing for me. But there's plenty of other people out there. I'll fight them. Like I say, long as it's from relevance, and I will. Hopefully, Camozzi comes through his next fight, and it's something we can work out and put on there. Obviously, I'll find the winner out there, them two, you know what I mean, for the world title. Or if me and Tomahawk will have a little eliminator for the winner out of them two, then yeah, so be it. So be it.
Like I said, it's so refreshing to hear somebody in the top five say, like, I want somebody else in the top five. It's so weird right now. There's this crazy trend where you have guys who aren't even in the top 10 and they get a win over somebody else not in the top 10 and they want to fight the champion. And, and no one wants to go about it the right way like you did. And like I said, it's so, like, I love talking to you and I love seeing that, like, nose of the grindstone, work your way up. Like, that's just a great mentality.
Well, I just think it's how it should be. You know what I mean? We shouldn't be handed anything. You've got to prove yourself before you can't just walk in there. I mean, if Sorenzo beats Camozzi, I mean, he's in the two fights. He's a world champion. I mean,
Sure.
what's everybody supposed to think?
No, it's
You know, I
definitely
would say what's all them lads in the top five have worked their ass off to get in the top five, hoping to get that chance. And he's been not handed it. Obviously, still got to fight for it, but he's been given the opportunity for somebody who's some of us in the top five have had star 5, 7, some have had up to 8, 9 bouts. You know
sure.
what I mean? They've been doing it for years, plugging away just to get that shot. But hey, it's out of my hands. I don't dwell on it too much. You know, I'll take whatever comes in front of me. But as long as it makes sense, you know, I'm not. If somebody who's had a good win, who's outside the top 10, wants to fight me and it's for a title, I'll happily do that. I'll happily do that. That's why I'm not, even if I fight Townsend, I'm not bothered if it's for anything. If it's a top 5 lad, you know what I mean? He deserves to have a shot with me, and I certainly haven't deserved to have a shot with him. So, but like stuff like that, you've got to have a world title eliminator. Surely a third fight's fourth.
Sure.
Wouldn't you? You would think so.
You
But
would
hey,
think.
stranger things have happened, haven't they? So yeah, I'll just play it by ear. I'll just do what I always do, nose to the ground, train hard, and just I'll fight whoever. Just whatever happens, it happens.
All right, Mr. Wasp. I really enjoy this talk. I can't wait to hear. Like, hopefully, we get some news and we get to like talk about an upcoming fight. That'd be great.
Yep, no bother at all. Thank you for having us on, and yeah, it's been great. Thank you very much.
Okay, and then do you have any message for the fans? Any sponsor shout outs? Anything you'd like to get out there before we call it a day?
Yeah, I just want to give a shout out to all my sponsors. Obviously, without them, they couldn't make this happen. You know, obviously training, dying, getting all my gear, buying all my stuff. It's not cheap, you know. So yeah, just want to say thank you to everybody, and obviously thank you to the fans who spend the hard work and money on, you know, buying tickets and travelling up to see us and travelling anywhere. Basically, I've got a really good loyal fight fans. So I just want to say thank you to them, and yeah, I'll be back, and it's not been long. I'll be out again, and hopefully to impress you all and another good performance.
All right, buddy. Have a great day. Thanks so much for your time.
Thank you. Cheers.
Bye
Ciao.
bye.